Let's get ready for Monday Mortgage Minute with your hosts, Tom McNamara and Bruce Woodburn.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Bruce. How we doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Got a great week ahead of us. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We got a lot of things to cover this morning.
Absolutely. Actually, I got three specific things that we want to go through. One is I want to remind everybody that both of us are able to help people throughout the country. I want to talk about rates and what's going on with them, and I really want to talk about this. I want to dig deeper into this condominium thing, the threat of decreasing in value.
I agree 100%. I don't think people know as much about it. So let's just talk about the very first thing you talked about is, can we help you? Because you and I are both located in Central Florida.
Correct.
What if you're buying in North Carolina or Alaska or Hawaii or any other state? So
Absolutely. So
can you
yeah,
help
I mean,
people?
I do. I help people all the time. I've got friends from back home. I've got colleagues from former businesses that I've been in all over the country. I've helped people in multiple states, buying and selling, or just giving advice. Right? How
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, no problem. So Cross Country, the number one retail lender in the country. We are licensed in all 50 states. I'm closing loans in Oklahoma, Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, New York. I mean, just about any state. Most of them I've done a loan for. So we can help
Awesome.
you anywhere you want to go.
That's great. That's great. That's one of the reasons I chose EXP is because I do get to work across the whole country. So
Well, and you know what? People don't know how to choose a great lender and a great realtor.
sure.
So, and when it comes to that, they think that the lender is just about rate. Well, rate's the most important thing, but it's not everything. And then a realtor, people don't know how to choose the right realtor. They have
No,
no
we've
idea.
actually
They
got
choose their best friend's wife or
their
daughter that
neighbor
got
or
into real
somebody. Yeah.
estate, and it's the biggest asset that we have, so you have to know that you're dealing with the right people over there. That's
Yeah,
why I go
absolutely.
to you.
We have a tool where I can look up, and see people's production and find you the top producers, not just in the state or in the area, but in your market, like in your exact neighborhood.
And
So that's
you would interview them if you didn't know them personally, because
100%.
some top producers have got a little bit of an attitude and they may not be the right fit for you, right?
I
And it
what I
might be a
usually
middle,
do,
right?
yeah, what I
Some
usually
people are
do is I'll go get usually three people that I've interviewed personally myself, and then I give all three of them to my friend or coworker or family, whatever, and let them interview them. So I'm like, hey,
yes.
these are the three that I think are best, but you go pick the one you want to work with.
Right. Agreed. Agreed.
Absolutely.
And then the next topic was rates have dipped, right? So we're seeing a little bit of a reduction in interest rate. The bond market got a little bit of stimulation. Stock market's been rallying. Things are happening. We're getting ready to go into the holiday season here, or we're actually in it now.
Yeah, no,
And it will really be interesting to see what happens if the Fed decides to raise the rates in the future, or are they going to leave them, or are they going to pull them back? I think there's a 0% chance that December's Fed meeting is going to have any type of a
change.
increase in rates, but
Nope.
they are not going to decrease them.
Nope.
I think they're just going to leave everything the way it is. Let's ride out the holidays. If spending is big over the holidays, you will probably see another Fed increase. If spending is low and consumers are not buying products like they used to, then you might see a decrease in the Fed rate. It really is going to depend on our actions over the holidays.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's looking. I mean, it's looking like it's going to continue to. People are going to continue to spend. So you're probably right. We are probably going to end up with higher rates. And I'll tell you right now, a lot of people avoid listing their house around the holidays, and I understand it's inconvenient. You've got things that are happening with your family and such. But if you've got to sell, it's actually a great time to sell because the only buyers that are in the market are super serious buyers. I just listed a property. We've had 8 showings. I've got 6 offers on it. They're all serious buyers, right?
This is the time to do it. If you take your house off the market over the holidays, you're making a major mistake, because you got maybe 6 out of 10 families that had their house on the market, they take it off. over
Yep.
the holidays because they just don't want people through the house.
Yeah.
But the ones that leave it on are capturing a greater portion of the market.
Especially here in Central Florida, we do get people that come and visit us for the holidays. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. So
So
don't take your house off the market over the holidays if you're serious about selling it.
I want to really dig into this condominium thing because, to me, I see. I just had a conversation with a guy that's got two of them in a association that I sold one in recently, and he's really concerned about everything that's going on.
They should be. They
Yeah,
should be. So let's kind of get a handle on what's going on here. First of all, condominiums are already more challenging to finance because they have to be on either the Fannie Mae, the Freddie Mac, the HUD for FHA or VA approved list. If they're not on it, you can't get one of those loans unless the lender is able to go in and manually get them approved through the association based on collecting
right.
documents and having a questionnaire filled out. That's about 150 questions.
I've
But
done one of those, a spot
that's
approval. That it was a pain.
yeah, but that's always been the case. That's always been the case. But we've got another dilemma. So back in June of 2024, when the condominium in Miami collapsed and 98 people lost their lives, the Fannie Mae and the government said, you know what? We need some more structural investigation and be certain that these condominiums are structurally sound. And the problem is they didn't limit it to the stories. Like, in other words, it's not like, well, if you're 3 stories and above, you have to have these extra forms
Right,
and these
right.
extra investigations. They just did it carte blanche across the board. So what they did is they added an addendum. And let's talk a little bit about that if you've got that caption. So first of all, I've got some tactics for each and every one of you,
There you
whether
go.
you're looking to buy a condominium or you own a condominium. This is vital. You must get involved in your HOA because your HOA and the management company that manages your HOA do not care about your value. I'm just telling you, they don't care. If they did, they would be more in tune as to what's going on. And if your condominium that you bought was approved at one point, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, whatever it was, and then is removed from the list, your value could plummet. It will, because now you can only get a cash buyer. And how
Right.
many cash buyers are there out there?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Get involved in your HOA. Second thing is that if make sure that your condominium is at least approved on the Fannie Mae list. It's at least approved on the Fannie Mae list. So, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Better still, if you're on the Fannie Mae, the FHA, and the VA approved list, your value will be greater than a condominium that's only on one of the lists.
Yeah,
Now,
and
typically, if you're on the FHA list, you're going to be on the Fannie Mae list, or you'll at least qualify for it. But
right.
FHA and VA have much tighter restrictions on whether a condominium is approvable or not.
Yeah, and don't if you already own one, right? Don't wait until you're ready to
Oh
sell to
gosh,
start
no.
doing this. Do this
You're going to
now.
watch your value go down if you don't address this right away.
Absolutely,
Then the
absolutely.
third thing is,
Mhm.
so if you're uncertain as to whether your condominium is on one of these lists, you contact me. My contact information is on uh, this chat. We've got everything here. We're trying to empower not only our clients, but real estate agents, builders, anybody that is going to benefit from this information. And I'm going to tell you something. If you want to buy a condo or you own a condo, you better be paying very close attention to this because your best asset could physically plummet. So what happened is, if we go on to that, I think did we miss one of them?
Yeah,
Um, so what happened is there was an addendum added on to the standardized condominium questionnaire onto Form 1076. And the addendum states that the association or the management company has to state that they are not aware of any structural defects. And there's about 10 questions that they ask you about that. So if they had a settling or a sinkhole or they failed an inspection, they have to let everybody know, and they should. But most of them have no idea as to whether there's any structural deficiencies that would concern you about the integrity of the condominium, whether it's in the unit that you own or a unit 10 units down. It doesn't matter. The entire complexes are what have to get approved. And what's happening is, since this form needs to be filled out, the attorneys for the management companies are saying, I don't think you should fill that out. I don't think you should go out on a limb. It's not an affidavit. It's a form that says, I'm just unaware of anything. That's
Right.
all it says. I'm unaware of it. But if
Yeah.
they don't fill it out, your condominium is no longer financeable on any type of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, VA, unfinanceable, will not do it, cannot close. Now, you can get the minutes from the budget meetings and go 6 consecutive meetings back, and if there's no utterance of anything that has to do with structural integrity or aware of any kind of issues with it, you can then use that rather than having the form filled out. But it's a challenge. Try to get 6 budget meetings back in the minutes and review all those, right? I had to do that on one just this week, and
Yeah.
because the association refused to fill it out, my buyer was going to lose the property. The seller couldn't sell it. Now there's another listing from a different agent in the community. They're reaching out to me. I just got it approved because I had to go back and do 6 budget meetings. Can you imagine how much work that is? It was nuts. And they were not willing to just cough that up to me, but I
Wow.
got it.
Yeah. I mean, it's I appreciate that the government put this restriction, right, and this requirement in. I just wish they would have done it in a little cleaner fashion. That's,
Well, I think so too, but we also have to realize that if we're not willing to say, "Hey, I have no knowledge of a structural defect," even if it's on your single family residence, if you knew you had a structural defect, then you should disclose that. You legally have to disclose that, correct?
yeah,
On
absolutely.
a residential property. Commercial, you don't. Residential, you have to disclose that.
Right.
Well, so they have to disclose it anyways. If there's no knowledge of it, then all they have to do is say, I have no knowledge of any structural defects. And
Yeah.
that's it. We go on, we close.
Well, hopefully things get get a little bit more normalized on that in that front. But in the meantime, it's heavy lifting. So call Bruce, call myself. We've got the resources to help you
We
out if you're
absolutely
thinking
do.
about
We'll
a
help you
condo.
whether you want to buy a condo or you've got one listed or you own one. I'm happy to pull it up and see which list you're on and whether it conforms. But in addition to the list, you need to talk to your association about completing that form for anyone that wants to buy in the community. Hey, Tom, people can listen to us on your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
above, if you go on there, check out the YouTube channel and just subscribe to us. We'd really appreciate that. And if you want to go to webringyouhome.com, that's my website. If you'd like to check out any of my training videos or my 3 big things you need to know that I do every Friday, you can always go to Bruce Woodburn, the Loner Ranger YouTube channel, and subscribe there. You'll get tons of information that will help you in your career.
Sounds great. Hey, Bruce, got to go. Thanks very much. I hope you have a fantastic week, my friend.
Yep. Yeah. Happy holidays to you. Happy Thanksgiving. And listen, everybody out there, reach out to somebody that you haven't been in touch with, that maybe you've become estranged with, and just extend that olive branch over. This is a great time to be thanks. And God bless America.
God bless you. Have a great day, man.
Yeah. Same here.